What if I told you that just 1 hour a day could completely change your life? Not 5 hours, not 10, not some impossible marathon of effort. Just 60 focused minutes. Most people waste that hour without even noticing. They spend it scrolling, reacting to messages, or getting caught up in distractions. But the people who use it wisely? They transform their lives, their skills, and their future. That's the secret I want to share with you today, the power of 1 hour. Welcome back to Talk Easy, English Podcasts. I'm Laura, your companion on this journey of learning, growth, and self-discovery. And today, I want to give you a simple but life-changing system, how to claim one daily hour and turn it into the foundation for extraordinary results. Part 1. The hidden power of 1 hour. But let me start with a hard truth. Most people don't fail because they aren't talented enough. They don't fail because they're lazy or broken. They fail because they waste time. Hours slip away on endless scrolling, empty conversations, or distractions that feel urgent but add no real value. And yet, when it comes to dedicating just one single hour to personal growth, most people won't make the trade. Think about this. 1 hour is only 4% of your day. 4%. That's less than the time you probably spent waiting in traffic this week or standing in line at the store. But when used wisely, that 1 hour is worth more than the other 23 combined. Why? Because it's not about the number of minutes. It's about what those minutes stand for. That 1 hour is proof. Proof that you believe in your future. Proof that you've decided to stop being a passive character in your story and start being the author. Proof that you're willing to invest in yourself when most people won't. Think of the people you admire most: leaders, innovators, creators. Do you know what they all share? They don't wait for perfect timing, lucky breaks, or magical motivation. They commit. They build their life on small, daily choices. Warren Buffett reads 5 to 6 hours a day. Bill Gates devours around 50 books a year. Oprah begins every morning with meditation. And here's what matters. You don't need Buffett's 5 hours. You don't need Gates's 50 books. You don't need Oprah's full morning routine. You just need one focused hour every single day. Now let me show you the math. 1 hour of reading a day adds up to 365 hours in a year. That's the same as 15 weeks of full-time study on the subject of your choice. 1 hour of practicing a skill? Within 2 years, you'd outperform 95% of people in that area. And yet, here's the trap. People overestimate what they can achieve in one day and underestimate what steady effort creates in 1 year. 1 hour might look small today, but multiply it by 365, and suddenly, it's enormous. So here's the challenge. Stop waiting for shortcuts. Stop hoping for miracles. Start with 1 hour. That's your foundation. That's where everything begins. And if you truly want to maximize this power, you need to focus on one thing in particular, your first hour after waking up. Because here's the truth, most people waste their golden hour. They roll over, grab their phone, scroll through other people's lives, and let the world hijack their attention. By the time they get out of bed, their mood is scattered, their focus is gone, and their energy is already drained. Big mistake. Life-changing mistake. Why? Because brain science tells us that your mind is sharpest in the first hour after waking. Your focus is at its peak. Your willpower is strongest. And instead of guarding that time, most people give it away to distractions that don't move them forward. Meanwhile, the most successful people protect that first hour like treasure. They know it sets the tone for the rest of the day, and eventually, for their entire life. Instead of reacting to the world, they design their world. Instead of scrolling through messages, they write their own goals. Instead of drowning in noise, they create clarity. Your first hour should belong to you. Not your phone. Not your email. Not social media. You. So use it wisely. Read something that stretches your mind. Write down your goals. Picture the future you want to create. Move your body. Feed your soul. Because when you claim your first hour, you claim your day. And when you stack enough winning days, you claim your life. And I know what some of you are thinking, but Laura, I'm just not a morning person. Here's the truth. Success doesn't care about your preferences. Champions aren't born ready. They train themselves to be ready. They build habits, they craft discipline, and they do it whether they feel like it or not. And so can you. So here's your first challenge. Starting tomorrow, before you give your attention to the world, give it to yourself. Before you check in on everyone else's life, check in on your own. Before you consume content, create progress. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. And when you win enough days, you win your life. Now, before we move to the next step, let's pause. Because here's a truth most people overlook. It's not just about working hard. It's about working in the right direction. And that's where so many fail. They confuse being busy with being productive. They pour in hours, but they're spinning in circles. Their effort is there, but their focus isn't. And that's why, in part 2, I'll show you exactly how to aim before you shoot, how to define your direction so that your daily hour actually transforms your future, instead of just filling time. Stick with me because this next step is what separates dreamers from doers. Part 2, Direction Before Action. Here's something most people get wrong. They think hard work alone will save them. They stay busy all day, pouring in effort, and yet nothing really changes. Why? Because they're moving without direction. It's like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you burn energy, you feel exhausted. But when you step off, you're standing in the exact same place. That's why before you dive into your one powerful hour, you need to ask yourself a question. Where am I actually going? Because if you don't know your destination, any road will take you somewhere. But most of the time, it won't be anywhere important. Direction is everything. It's the difference between spinning your wheels in mud and steadily moving toward your goals. It's the difference between ending your day drained versus ending it proud of real progress. Successful people understand this. They don't just rush into action. They aim before they shoot. They plan before they move. And because of that, their 1 hour of effort creates 10 hours worth of results. The power of clarity. So here's what I want you to do before your growth hour begins. Spend just 3 minutes, yes, 3, gaining absolute clarity. Ask yourself, what exact skill am I improving today? What specific problem am I solving? What measurable progress will I make? Why does this matter for my future? And here's the secret. Don't just think about your answers. Write them down. The moment you write, you take something vague and turn it into a promise. Think about the difference between these two statements. I want to read more. Versus, I'm reading for 30 minutes a day to sharpen my communication skills because strong communication will help me grow my career and deepen my relationships. See the shift? One is a wish. The other is a plan. Here's another one. I want to get better at writing. Versus, I'm writing 500 words every day to strengthen my storytelling skills because great storytellers inspire people and change lives. The second version is clear. It has purpose. And when you sit down for your growth hour, you won't waste time deciding what to do. You'll already know. The power of why. Now let's go deeper. Because knowing what to do is good, but knowing why you're doing it is powerful. Your why is your fuel. When your why is strong, you'll always find a way forward. But when your why is weak, you'll always find excuses. So instead of vague goals like, I want to learn about business, define it with purpose. I'm studying marketing for 45 minutes a day because mastering marketing will help me scale my side business to $5,000 a month. That's no longer a dream. That's a mission. One thing at a time. Here's another trap, trying to do everything at once. Multitasking feels productive, but it's a lie. Your brain wasn't built for 10 priorities at the same time. So during your growth hour, pick one main skill, one main goal, one area to master. Pour your full attention into that. Lock in until you've built a solid foundation, then move on to the next. Remember, clarity in writing creates focus in action. And focus is what transforms random activity into real progress. A mini challenge for you. Before tomorrow's growth hour, do this. Grab a notebook and write down 3 things: your what, your why, and your one focus. What are you working on? Why does it matter? What's the one thing you'll commit to today? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be specific. Because the truth is, an hour of random activity is just an hour lost. But an hour of clear, focused effort? That's how you build the future you want. Setting up the next step. Now here's the real challenge. Once you know where you're going, you have to protect that hour fiercely. Because the world will try to steal it from you, not with huge emergencies, but with tiny, constant distractions. In part 3, I'll show you how to guard your growth hour like treasure. How to silence the noise, set real boundaries, and keep your time safe so nothing, not your phone, not your inbox, not other people's drama, can take it away from you. Stick with me, because protecting your hour might be the hardest part of all, and the most important. Part 3. Protecting your hour. Now you know where you're going. You've written down your what, your why, and your focus. But here's the truth. Even the clearest plan won't matter unless you protect your growth hour. And I'll be honest, this is where most people fail. They start with good intentions. They open a book, sit down to write, or get ready to practice a skill. Then their phone buzzes. A friend calls. An email feels urgent. A family member interrupts with, "Do you have a minute?" And just like that, their hour is gone. Here's what I want you to understand. Your growth hour is not free time. It's not flexible. It's not optional. This hour is sacred. It's the most valuable 60 minutes of your entire day because it's the only time fully dedicated to building your future. Think about it this way. If someone tried to take $100 out of your wallet, would you just hand it over? Of course not. But that 1 hour is worth far more than $100. It's worth your dreams, your success, your potential. Don't let anyone steal it. The enemy of growth, tiny distractions. Most people imagine that failure comes from one huge mistake. But in reality, it's death by 1,000 cuts. Little distractions add up. 5 minutes answering texts. 10 minutes checking social media. A quick scroll through YouTube. Suddenly, half your hour is gone. And here's the worst part. You don't even notice until it's too late. That's why you need boundaries. Real ones. Not, "I'll try to focus," or "I'll just check quickly." I mean hard, non-negotiable rules that protect your time. How to guard your hour. Here are some practical steps you can start using tomorrow. Tell your family, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I'm unavailable unless it's an emergency. This is my growth time. Tell your friends, I don't respond to calls or texts during my morning hour. I'll get back to you later. Tell your coworkers, I check emails after 8 a.m., not before. Yes, some people will push back. They'll call you selfish or antisocial. They'll try to guilt you into giving away your time. But remember, people who don't invest in themselves often resent those who do. That's their problem, not yours. Build your fence. Think of your growth hour like a garden. Without a fence, weeds will invade, weeds like distractions, interruptions, and other people's agendas. Your job is to build that fence. Close the door. Silence your phone. Switch to airplane mode. Use noise-canceling headphones if you need to. Create a physical environment where nothing pulls you away from your work. This isn't about being rude. It's about being serious. Serious about your future, your goals, and the person you're becoming. Self-respect and boundaries. Here's a powerful truth. If you don't value your own time, no one else will. If you don't protect your priorities, other people will happily fill your schedule with theirs. Every time you defend your hour, you strengthen your self-respect. Every time you give it away, you weaken your confidence. So make the choice. Respect yourself enough to guard that time. Because the moment you treat your growth hour as sacred, others will too. A mini challenge for you. Before tomorrow, set one clear boundary. Just one. It might be silencing your phone, telling your family you're unavailable, or blocking notifications. Whatever it is, commit to it and protect your hour like treasure. Because once you've built the fence around your time, you can finally plant the seeds that matter. And those seeds? They grow into skills, confidence, and success. In part 4, we'll talk about what to actually do with that protected time. How to structure your growth hour between learning, practicing, and reflecting so every single minute counts. Stick with me, because this next step turns your protected time into unstoppable progress. Part 4. How to use your hour. Alright, my friend. You've done the hard work. You've claimed your first hour, you've set boundaries, and you've built the fence that keeps distractions out. Now comes the big question. What do you actually do with this time? Because here's the trap, a lot of people finally carve out an hour for growth and then waste it. They scroll, they dabble, they consume random content. By the end, they feel busy, but not better. And the truth is simple. An hour without intention is just another wasted hour. So, let's break down how to use this golden time in a way that guarantees progress. The 3 pillars of the growth hour. Your hour should balance 3 essential activities. Learning, expanding your mind with focused knowledge. Practice, applying what you've learned in the real world. Reflection, fine-tuning your progress so you grow faster. When you combine these 3, the hour becomes unstoppable. Pillar 1. Learn with intention. Start by learning something that directly connects to your goals. Not random trivia, not whatever pops up on your feed, intentional learning. Want to grow your career? Read a chapter from a book by a leader in your field. Want to get healthier? Study nutrition or exercise science. Want to improve your English? Listen to a podcast, read an article, or watch a video in English. But here's the key, don't just skim. Study deeply. Take notes. Write down quotes that hit you. Ask, how can I use this today? Real learning is deliberate. 10 focused minutes of study is worth more than an hour of passive scrolling. Pillar 2. Practice deliberately. Knowledge without action is useless. That's why at least half your hour should be practice. If you're learning a language, speak out loud. If you're building a business, work directly on your plan. If you're mastering a skill, do the reps. Practice doesn't mean perfection. It means pushing yourself slightly past your comfort zone. If it feels too easy, you're not growing. Real growth happens in the stretch, in the challenge. And here's a secret. Practice gives feedback that study never will. When you try, you see what works, what fails, and what needs improvement. That feedback is gold. It accelerates learning faster than anything else. Pillar 3. Reflect and refine. This last step is what most people skip, and it's why they stay stuck. Reflection turns random effort into meaningful progress. Spend just 5 minutes at the end of your hour asking, what did I learn today? What worked? What didn't work? What will I do differently tomorrow? Write it down. Don't just think it. Writing creates clarity, and clarity fuels growth. This is how you spot patterns. Maybe you focus better in the morning than evening. Maybe you remember more from podcasts than from books. Maybe you work faster with a timer. Reflection gives you these insights, and insights compound into mastery. A sample breakdown. Here's how you might structure your growth hour. 10 minutes. Learn, read a book, watch a lecture, study deeply. 40 minutes. Practice. Apply it directly, speak, write, build, create. 10 minutes. Reflect, review notes, write down insights, plan for tomorrow. That's it. One clear rhythm that ensures you don't just spend time, you actually grow. A mini challenge for you. Tomorrow, when you sit down for your hour, use this exact structure. Don't just wing it. Pick your learning material, practice deliberately, and finish with 5 minutes of reflection. By the end of the week, you'll notice something powerful. You're not just working on yourself. You're building momentum. And momentum is what makes change unstoppable. Now that you know how to use the hour, we need to talk about the real engine that keeps it alive: discipline. Because let's face it, motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll feel fired up, others you'll feel drained. If you rely on motivation, you'll fail. But if you build discipline, you'll succeed every single time. And that's exactly what we'll dive into in Part 5, how to build the discipline that keeps your growth hour alive, even on the days when you don't feel like showing up. Stick with me, this is where everything comes together. Part 5, Discipline, the engine of transformation. All right, my friend. We've built the system together. You've claimed your first hour, you've learned how to protect it, and you've discovered how to use it with intention. But there's still one missing piece, the piece that makes or breaks everything. That piece is discipline. Because let's be honest, motivation won't save you. Motivation is moody. Some mornings you'll feel unstoppable. Other mornings you'll feel like pulling the covers back over your head. If you rely only on motivation, you'll quit. But discipline? Discipline is the muscle that carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline is what makes sure you show up even on the days when you don't feel like it. And here's the truth. Discipline is the single most valuable skill you'll ever build. Why discipline beats motivation? Motivation is like the weather, it changes daily. Discipline is like the sun, it shows up, no matter what. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, especially when you don't feel like it, you strengthen that discipline muscle. Every time you give in to excuses, you weaken it. It's that simple. Think of discipline as a bridge. On one side are your dreams, your goals, your best life. On the other side is where you are right now. Motivation can get you to the bridge, but only discipline will carry you across. How to build discipline step by step. Start small. Don't promise yourself 3 hours a day of study right away. Start with one clear commitment, one focused hour. Small wins build trust in yourself. Decide ahead of time. Don't wake up wondering if you'll do it. Decide once in advance and lock it in. When the alarm rings, there's no debate. Shape your environment. Make good choices easy and bad choices hard. If you want to read, put a book on your pillow. If you want to avoid scrolling, leave your phone in another room. Track your wins. Keep a simple log. Write down each day you complete your growth hour. Watching those streaks build is powerful. It turns discipline into a game you don't want to lose. Recover quickly. You will miss a day. That's not failure, that's life. The key is to bounce back immediately the next day. Never miss twice in a row. The compound power of 1 hour. Think about what this discipline creates over time. 1 hour a day equals 365 hours in a year, more than 9 full weeks of focused study. 5 years of that? Over 1,800 hours. Enough to become world-class at almost anything. All from a single, non-negotiable daily hour. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. Not with massive bursts of effort, but with small, steady, disciplined action. Your future is waiting. Let me leave you with this. Your future self, the one who speaks fluent English, the one who runs a successful business, the one who's confident, capable, and free, is counting on you. She's watching to see what you choose today. Will you give in to excuses and stay the same? Or will you show up, even when it's hard, and build the life you've been dreaming about? The choice is yours. My friend, thank you for sharing this journey with me. You now have the system, the tools, and the mindset to transform your life 1 hour at a time. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about consistency. And if you commit, that 1 hour a day will change everything. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to Talk Easy English podcasts. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next, especially the deep dive episode I'll be doing soon, fully dedicated to building discipline step by step. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what time will your growth hour be, and what will you use it for? Share this with a friend who needs it, because transformation is contagious. Together, we can change not just our own lives, but the lives of the people around us. So take action today. Protect your hour. Build your discipline. And never stop growing. Because your future? It starts right now.